Hey guys, hey, I'm here in the prayer room and just wanted to share this thing that I've been meditating on in Acts 13 today. Acts 13, a part of the chapter, Paul recounts a little bit of Israel's history. And then in verse 22, he makes a profound statement. He says, after God removed Saul, he found a man named David who had the testimony that he was a man after God's own heart. What a profound statement. And I say that to say this, that I believe during this shaking that's happening all over the world, I believe that God is removing Saul-type churches and even ministries and mindsets. And he's finding a group of people on the earth like David, who I believe was a type and shadow in the Old Testament of what an end-time church will look like. He's finding a church on the earth that has the testimony that they are after God's own heart. And I believe that what David found in God's heart is what many are finding in God's heart in this hour. You know what that is? Is God's desire to be near his people. I believe David responded by pitching a tent called the Tent of David, hiring with his own money 288 singers and 4,000 musicians who will stand before God to minister to him day and night. And in that context, David's generation encountered not religion, not traditions of men, not dead orthodoxy, but they encountered the living God who has a burning desire to be near to his creation. Matter of fact, Acts 13, verse 36 gives us the remarkable truth that David fell asleep with his fathers after he served his generation by doing all of the will of God. And what an amazing way to serve our generation like David did. To create dwelling places in our city where God can inhabit and encounter people. And I believe that this is what's happening in this hour. God's finding David-like hearts that are after his heart alone, not after bigger ministry, not after their own name, not after trying to have impact and be made known by men. No, he's finding men and women all over the nations of the earth that have a genuine, sincere desire after God's own heart. And what I believe they're discovering is God is still burning with passion to be near to his creation. And I believe this is a type and shadow of what we're going to see at the end of the age and what we're seeing now. We're going to see a church like David that has the testimony of David, that they're after God's own heart. And God's going to respond by being near his creation and beginning to inhabit geographical regions all over the nations of the earth. And so I just want to encourage you, be a person after God's own heart. Because I promise you it'll transform your life the way David did. David harnessed himself to this vision that God wanted to dwell in his generation in glory and power. And so I just want to leave you with this and be part of a community in this hour that is after that one thing, that is after the heart of God, that understands his heart, that God doesn't want to be a stoic, distant God. God wants to be personal with the affairs of man to the point that he wants to dwell in their midst, even in the midst of all the chaos and darkness that's going on. So I'm so encouraged by the life of David, and I believe that the life of David is a great picture of what God is doing in this hour. He's going to raise up sincere worshipers after his own heart. So bless you guys, love you guys, and praying for each one of you. Talk to you soon.